Good morning to all of you. So, welcome to today's class. And previously, in our last class, we have discussed about the statistics, all the related topic of statistics, the parameters, and this type of thing. Uh, so now we in our last class we have discussed. While discussing, we said that some more new topics were there. So today we are going to discussion on that particular topic. So this was the last slide where we have discussed and we have actually ended here. So it's the sample and how to take the things, how to do the analysis. These particular things have been displayed or discussed actually. So now moving to our next part, that is the studies or the research. So there are several way of studies or research actually there. So now if we're talking about this other type of study and research, so we will found some new things, that is the other in other type of research studies, that is there are two type of, or there are things that is known as the non-experimental or quasi-experimental. So it is known as the non-experimental or quasi-experimental, and these are similar to experiments because they are also compared group of scores. So in this particular quasi-experimental or non-experimental topic, the thing is that it is actually making a comparison between a group of scores. So here a group or a score where we are obtaining from a large number of groups, we are collecting a value. We are actually finding out the values from a large number of groups, and then we are actually comparing them. So it is a quasi-experimental type of studies we can talk about. So it is a quasi-experimental type of studies we can talk about. So here what is the thing is happening, that we are obtaining value from a large number of data from a large number of group, and this that particular result is actually we are obtaining, then the result is actually we are obtaining. So here the thing is that it is actually emphasize the external validity. It will emphasize the external validity. So it will means we can say that it will work on the real life scenario. It will work on the real life scenario. And miss the thing that is happening not naturally. So we are going to look on the real time data. So the data we are actually getting, that is on real time. We are obtaining the value from a real time data, and it is a not a means clear or exploratory hypothesis. So it is actually we are performing something on some real time of data. So nothing some exploratory, some theoretical discussion or nothing like that. So here we are performing, we are doing something, and we are doing the what on the real time. We are working on the real time value, and then that particular data we are obtaining at that particular time. So this is called a external validity or working on a real time data. And it is a non-equivalent type of group, means there is a already existing and group and non-random assignment. So we have to do a self-selection, means that we again need to pick up some random or we are going to enter the value in a random way. Then that thing will be our part of the quasi experimental or this type of non experimental things actually. So here the thing is that the studies, it do not use any manipulated variable to differentiate the group. So the value cannot be manipulated. So we do not manipulate the value to differentiate the group. So value cannot be manipulated. Instead, the variable that differentiates the group is usually a pre-existing participant variable or a time variable. So the thing is that we are working on a real-time data. We are working on a particularly real-time data, and that we are working not we are not manipulating the data. The value cannot be manipulated, because if the thing is predefined, if the values are predefined or it is defined by the programmer or the backend programmer or whoever it is, so means he has the power to manipulate the data. But when we are working on any real-time data where the data will be a input from the user or any type of value from the user, so that cannot be manipulated, because whatever the user, a random user is going to enter, that is our actually real-time data, and we cannot manipulate those type of data. So we do not manipulate the variable data here to differentiate the particular groups. So these studies do not use the manipulation and control of true experiments. So here we cannot manipulate the data, and we don't have any control over this type of particular data. So this is a thing where the value we are actually obtaining will be a true time value or a real time value, and they will be giving a result more similar to correlational research, because simply it will some describe relationship. So we need to find out the relationship, we need to identify the what are the things between each of them, so that all the things can be in a scenario. So this is the particular thing. So here is some value, or here is something is given. Actually here we can see an example of this particular thing. So here a variable one is given as a subject, there is a gender subject. So we can see in the right side there is a boys and girls, this type of scenario is present, and this is a quotient independent variable, not manipulated but used to create two groups of subjects. So here we can find out of boys and values, columns name, and some value is present there. Now in variable to verbal test course, we have actually given so some values on that particular. So some test has been conducted in one type of, and then the output or the result has been displayed here, that how many boys or what are the result and what are the girls result. So this is the thing. So here we can find out the value, the differentiation value, that what is the scores obtained by the boys and what is the score obtained by the girls. So here the values are variable putting into the groups, and then in the second part we can see that a variable one, that is a time, the quasi dependent variable. So here maybe a therapy or some type of doctor related thing, here a therapy has been done, and that particular value before therapy and after therapy is actually present. Then particularly there are some value present where before the therapy. So a test has been conducted, the therapy has been conducted on a particular group of people, and after what are the values of before the therapy and what are the results after the therapy, that particular value have been put into the differentiated columns as per the thing. So the value is we are obtaining in a particular group. So it is either a time dependent or a something value that cannot be manipulated. So the value will be real time data. So now as we are talking about this data, so we all know what is data. Data measurement obtained in a research study are called the data or the raw information. So the data we are obtaining, the measurement, after a research. So while conducting a research, after performing many experiments and many things, many process, following the many procedures. So after all these things, particularly the measurements obtained in a research study. So we are obtaining some value, and to obtain that particular value there are some previous predefined values or some values we are entering. So all these things, all these predefined values or the values that is helping to obtaining the data, obtaining our result actually. So these are and the validation of output or this particular output result is all called as data. All are called data. So the goal of this statistics is to help the researchers and the organizers to interpret the data. So statistics plays a huge part or huge role in the field of anything. Not actually I'm talking about data science. So in any many cases, the statistics plays a huge role to predict or to perform something, to get an output, to interpret the output, or to organize the things in a easier way, so that the things can be displayed, so the things can be interpreted easily, so here in the case of statistics, the data within the measurement obtained in a research study are called as data. The measurement obtained in a research study are called as data, and the goal of statistics is to help the researcher to organize and to interpret those particular data and to interpret those particular data. Now we have talked about this data and the process, all of the things. Now there is a part of descriptive statistics. So what is this descriptive statistics? So descriptive statistics, we can say that it is particular a method. Descriptive statistics is a method, we can say. So what is the particular this method? So it is the method for organizing and summarizing the data. So we have a large number of data. We have a large number of data, but in a random haphazard way. So to work on those particular data or to obtain something from those particular data is a very huge task. So whatever the data are present, actually our first work will be, if the data is not organized or if the data is not properly structured, then we need to organize or need to summarize this particular data. So to organize or to summarize this particular data, a method that is used here that is known as the descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics are the method for organizing and summarizing the data. For organizing and summarizing the data. So suppose here is an example is given that tables or graphs are used to organize the data and descriptive values such as the average scores are used to summarize the data. So a table or a graph table type we put the values into a particular table, we obtain the value, we make a graph or plot a graph to find out the relationship or find out the trends in between the values, and also we find out some, in many cases, most of the cases we found some average, some means. This is the output or this is the scores to summarize the data. So this is called a descriptive statistics where the things is structured either in a table format or plotting by plotting a graph so that we can easily find out the trends or these particular things, and after at the end to summarize the data, a particularly average or a sum or a total or whatever the things we need to summarize this particular data, means obtaining the output from the data. It is a process called this descriptive analyze and descriptive statistics. So a descriptive value for a population is called a parameter, and descriptive value for a sample is called is statistics. So here a descriptive value for a population. So maybe you're considering a population as a term. So the descriptive value for a population is called a parameter. So here for the population, whatever the descriptive values are, it will be termed as the parameter, and in the descriptive value for a sample, it will be called as statistics. So in a case of sample, it will be called as statistics. So there are just the changes of names, the changes of keywords. This is the particular scenario. Otherwise, things, the concept of these particular things are almost similar to each other. So we need to find out what is the main thing, and just we need to remember the keywords. Then inferential statistics. Then here we have some inferential statistics. So we know what is the differential statistics, what is the descriptive statistics actually. Now we are talking about the inferential statistics. So inferential statistics, it is also a method for using sample data to make general calculations about populations. So in inferential statistics, it is a method for using the sample data to make general conclusions about populations, to make general conclusion about populations, because a sample is typically only a part of the whole population, and sample data provide only some limited information about the population. So here maybe whatever the value, whatever the things the population is, a sample is a part. It is not the whole data. It cannot produce or it cannot give the information about the whole data. It is just a simple part. So a sample is a simple part, and this sample data provides only a limited information. So by picking up any random data or to work as a sample and to work on the random data name as sample, it will not produce a total information about those particular group. So it will just provide a limited information, whatever the data or whatever the information that sample has. So we this particular sample will not provide actually the total information. So as a result, this sample statistics are generally imperfect representative of the corresponding population pattern. So here, by picking out some random samples, maybe we can find out some trends or the things, but we will not get a particularly proper output. We may predict something, but our proper means obtain a actual output, actual result is not actually done by the inferential statistics or by picking up any random sample to collect or to know about the data or the information. Sampling error. So as in our previous class we have talked about, I have said that maybe we can choose a random sample, and not by picking up a random sample, only a single sample from a large number of groups is not at all going to work. So we need to choose maximum, means a number of samples to find out whether the things are similar or not. Whether the things are similar or not. Now, in this case, maybe in the large number of group of data, we have picked some samples that are not actually related to those particular group of data. Means the discrepancy is the present here. A discrepancy we are getting. The data is not at all related to those particular group. Considering that, suppose the data we have some girls and boys numbers data, but by default, by when we are going to check in the girls and boys number data, some colors of balls, this particular data, or some pen pencil, this particular data is also present. So those data is not actually related to the counting of girls and boys. So these are the error data, or these are some data that has been misplaced or that is not actually needed here. But while picking up the samples, maybe we have just picked up that particular thing. Maybe we picked up that particular thing. So that will cause an error. So this is fine. This is the discrepancy we are finding here. So the discrepancy between a sample statistics and the population parameter is called the sampling error. It's called the sampling error. So a discrepancy between a sample statistics and its population parameter is called as sampling error. So defining and measuring sampling error is a large part of it. So we need to check that whatever the random sample we are actually picking up, whether that is actually related to the particular data or it is some bugs data. So we need to also look out this particular thing because we are picking random samples. So that sample, if it is not actually related to this particular data, if it is a bug, then that data is not used. So to work on that particular sample, random sample, it will not provide any type of useful information. It will not provide any type of useful information. So here a sample is given example, that is a population of 1,000 college students. Population parameters are given, their average age, average IQ, and some number of male and female. So 65% female are present and 35% male students are here we are finding. So the total parameters out of 1,000 students, if we are considering the 65% female, average age of 21.3 years, and 35% males, average of 21.3 years, and the average IQ of them is at 112.5. So now we are dividing this particularly in two particular, in sample 1 and sample 2. So we are picking some random samples, sample 1 and sample 2. Sample 1 have some information of Eric, Jessica, some names are given. Sample statistics we are actually found from there, that average IQ, average age, and then the numbers. In sample 2 also the same things. There are some names, the sample. So we have to choose the sample. We are choosing the sample, and we need to find after choosing the sample that whether the sample parameters, whatever the parameters are present here, is it actually matching with our total value or total the group of value. So we need to check those particular things. So average IQ, average age, these are the numbers that is actually present in our main group, and that is also present in our sample group. So parameters in both of the cases, in the sample and in the main information or the total group of data, is actually similar. So we need to check out this particular things. That is the process, or this is the thing. Now there are some notations actually present. So these notations, measurements or scores obtained from a research participant will be identified by the letter capital X. So the individual measurements or the scores obtained for a research participant. So we are working on something, or we are finding out some measurement or scores, the individual measurement or scores from a particular research area, from after working some on that particular stage, that will be identified by the letter capital X or capital X and Y if there are multiple scores of each individual. So in case of statistics and probability, in the while we are actually doing this in class 12, the math in mathematics, actually we have choose this particularly things as X and Y. I think you all remember this particular term, that while doing on the work on the statistics, mean, mode, median, this particular form of mathematics. So we need this total population as capital X, and if there are multiple parameters are present, then we have named several variables, that is capital X, Y. These are the things. So these are the notations. This number of cores in a data set will be identified the n. So n will be identified as total number of data. N will be capital N will be identified as the total number of data, and X, capital Y, these are called the parameters. So these are the notations. So capital N is the total number of scores in the data, or for a population or a n number of samples. So capital N is the total number of data, and in the capital N there may be small n number of samples are present. So summing as a set of value the total summations as the parameters, whatever the parameters we are working on. If we are working on the X parameter, then the summation of capital X. If we are working on the Y parameter, then the summation of capital Y. So these are the notations, just a basic notations. Capital N as a total group of number, small n, the sample present in the capital N number of groups. Then the parameters, if there are one parameter, then we can identify it, or we can notate it as a capital X, and if there are multiple parameters, then we can notate it as a capital X, capital Y. This type of particular notation we can add, and for the total summation or total identification, that we can as a summation of whatever the parameter you are using, say X, Y, whatever the thing. So this is the particular notations actually. And order of operation, if we are talking as the order of operations, so all calculation within this parenthesis are done first. So first of all, the calculation between the parentheses are first, and then squaring or raising to other exponents is done in the second. So these are the steps we are following while in the processing or while the process. So first, the calculation within the parentheses are done, squaring or raising to other exponents is done in the second, multiplying and dividing at the third and should be completed in order to left and right. So as per the mathematics, we are working starting from the left and going to the right, or whatever the process. Summation with this sum notation is done next, and any additional adding or subtraction is done last and should be completed in order from left to right. So these are the particular process, not this very much vary about. So we need to follow, we need to work on the data, and while working on the data as per the scenario or this basis process we actually follow. So we don't need to remember this particular thing, but while working on the data, we need to find out a suitable work process, suitable workflow, so that the things can be achieved and the result can be obtained, and it will be very beneficial. So this is the things of probability. So means statistics. So in the end, we can say that we need to follow the process, we need to identify the samples, we need to pick up the samples, we need to check the samples whether that is actually related to our groups or what our data, working data actually, and then we need to find out a predictive summarizing calculation to predict something or to make a decision. So this is the help where the statistics actually helping us. So this is the part where the statistics, so making a decision to predict something, how we can making a decision, how we make a decision. So we cannot make a decisions on a single data, on a single output. To make a decisions or to predict something, we need to follow the trend, that how much actually satisfying our total number. So if there is 100, so if the satisfying part is more than 60% or more than 70%, then we can say yes, this is our trend and we can predict this particular thing. But so we need to work, or we need to check a large number of samples data, and then we can predict our outputs. So here the thing, the statistics and the statistical calculation helps us in the process of data science, and so that's why we need to study this data science actually. So that's why we need to study this data science particular topic actually. So this is the things for statistics, and this is a very basics of statistics you people have. So this is where this today's topics end in the statistics part, and in our next class we will start a new topic of data science. So if any type of query or anything is present in your mind or you people have, so you people can ask me or tell me. And I would like to request all of you to write down your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose, so that I can mark your attendance. And if anyone have any type of query, please ask me, or if anyone wants to ask anything, they can ask me. So I think all of the things, whatever the scenario that have been actually displayed or we have discussed about, it is actually going to take a large impact. It is going to help us while doing the data science upcoming topics. So we need to learn this thing. We need to work on this data, process data flow. So I think all of you have written your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose. And if anyone has misses, please do write it now. And if anyone wants to ask anything, they can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to end the session as today's topic or our last topic of this statistics have end here. So in our next class, we are going to discuss on a new topic. So that's why the session or the topic will going to end today here. And if anyone wants to say, they can ask me or tell me. And if not, then I'm going to stop the session. And I'd like to thank you all for joining into the session and listen or follow the process. Thank you all for joining into the session and stay safe in your home and take care.